Okay. Good afternoon, all. I welcome you all for this today's virtual live session. Okay, for this metallurgy subject. Now, in this today's session, we are going to discuss we will see how this virtual lab will work, and in this we are going to see the one experiment, that is microstructural analysis of the stainless steel. Okay, now this stainless steel part is in your second chapter only, related to that stainless steel. We will discuss it in the next few lectures. But before that, now how to observe their microstructure. Okay, now in this experiment I have highlighted here. Now, first of all, how to find out this virtual lab. Okay, just what you have, go in the Google. Am I audible now? Please confirm whether my voice is audible or not. Now I am audible. Okay, and the screen is also visible. Whether screen is visible on your screen. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you. Wait. Share this on the please wait for a few minutes. Okay. Am I visible on the right corner of your screen? Please confirm that also. Wait. Wait for a few minutes. Okay. Okay. Now I think. Okay. Please confirm it once now. Whether my voice is clearly audible and presenting your the screen is visible on your screen, so that I can start the session. Okay. 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 Thank you. Now we will start. Okay, now I welcome you all for this virtual lab session for metallurgy subject. Okay, first I will explain how this lab is searched. Okay, virtual lab. Now just you have to open one tab on whichever search engine you are using. If you are using Chrome, you can open it, or Internet Explorer. In that you can go through the Google search engine, or if any other search engine is available, through that you can search this. In that you have to open one tab and you have to type virtual lab for metallurgy. Okay, Now, after entering this, you will find the physical various links will be there. The first link you have to, which is containing or mentioning the physical metallurgy virtual lab by IIT Bombay. Please click it. Okay, I will repeat it again. Physical metallurgy by virtual lab developed by IIT Bombay. This tab you have to open. IIT Powai. Okay, this lab is developed by IIT Powai, and some contribution in this lab is done by the NIT Surathkal, which is situated in Karnataka. Okay, now you will get this tab, or this information will be displayed on your screen. Now this is physical metallurgy lab. Just you have to click one tab under it. Explore tab is there. Just click on that explore, and it will show you the list of experiments. Okay, a list of experiments available under this physical metallurgy lab, which they have, for which they have created the virtual lab. Okay, here 3 experiments are there. Microstructural analysis of stainless steel, then comparison between mild steel and gray cast iron, and third is severity of quenching. One by one we are going to see this, as for our practicals or virtual lab session progress takes place. And today we are going to discuss the microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Okay, just click on that. This is microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Now you will get this tab. Now here aim will get mentioned. I think this site is under some maintenance, but after opening this tab, this aim will get displayed here. Okay, then theory, whichever theoretical part is there, it will get displayed here, and one pre-test will be there. Okay, one pre-test that you have to appear. Then after that, procedure will be there. Then simulation is nothing but whichever experimental work is there, or whichever steps you have to follow, that will be explained with the help of some simulations. Okay, this I will explain. And after this, one post test will be there. Means after completion of that experiment, what part or whichever knowledge you have gathered, depending on that, you can answer these questions. Some 10 questions they have highlighted here, and after choosing the correct answers, you have to just submit that quiz. And at the end, they have given some this end tab, some references from where they have collected this. You will get this. Okay, now one by one I will explain it. And just first we will start with the pre-test. Okay, first we will take the pre-test. Now they have assumed that, means when you come to this experiment, that is stainless steel, microstructural analysis of stainless steel, means already you have studied the iron carbide equilibrium diagram, and you have also gone through the different types of steels and alloy steels. Okay, different types of steels and alloy steels, and one of the type of these steel will be the stainless steel. Okay, okay, one of the type is stainless steel. Now based on the stainless steel, okay, just now I am conducting this, some questions may you may not aware of the answers. I will mark the answer. Just I am telling you how this virtual lab concept works. Okay, initially you have to attempt this test, pre-test. Now I will answer these questions, and I will submit it. Okay, first question is, carbon in medium carbon steel ranges from, okay, it's they have given 4 options. Its correct answer is 0.3 to 0.6. This will be in your theoretical part in second chapter only. I'm going to teach this later, but just now I will answer it. Just try to understand how this virtual lab works, and the important part is simulation. That part you will be it will be very easy to understand. That I will explain. Just I am explaining it in these steps. Just go through the pre-test. Just I will answer this question. Then stainless steel is also known as high corrosion resistance steel. Then which element contributes to the corrosion resistance property of the stainless steel? Okay, stainless steel is very famous for its corrosion resistance properties. Okay, stain means corrosion, and less means corrosion less steels. Okay, the stainless steel can be breaked in stain and in less. Okay, that is stainless steel, and this is due to its corrosion resistance. Next question: addition of which element in the steel it will give you the austenitic structure? Answer is nickel. Then stainless steel with high strength but low corrosion resistance, it is termed as martensitic stainless steel. Then average life of stainless steel is about 15 to 25% years. Then why carbon is added to the stainless steel? Because carbon will give you the required strength and hardness when it is present in the desired form. Okay, and then which element does not contribute towards the better machinability? This chromium does not contribute towards the better machinability. Then the next question, these are general questions. Some general questions are also added here. Cobalt becomes highly radioactive when exposed to the intense radiation of nuclear reactors. Hence, whenever you are using the stainless steel in the nuclear services, then we'll have the restricted amount of the cobalt, and it is up to 0.2%. Then which is the hardest grade of stainless steel? And it is answer is 440. Okay, now here don't get confused. Means you are not knowing the answers of these questions, just I am explaining the stages. Okay, you are not having this part in your syllabus, that's why you will be not able to answer these questions. Okay, don't get confused, just I am telling you the steps which you have to follow during the virtual labs. For almost for all subjects, virtual labs are present on the uh, internet. You can go through that respective IIT or NIT or few famous colleges also. Then you will be able to find out some virtual labs are developed for each subject. It may be your strength of material, it may be metallurgy, then tom, IC engine, FM. For almost for all subjects, labs, virtual labs are there. If by chance you have missed any practical session, you can go through this virtual labs, you will understand how that experimental is actually conducted. Okay, now I will submit this quiz. Okay, now this I have correct almost answered all questions. Okay, correct answers I have provided. Now after taking this pre-test, some aim theory is there and procedure part is there. Now that part is not visible at this time, so I will explain it in the simulation only. Now we will move towards the next tab, that is the simulation. Now simulation is nothing but the actual conduction of the practical. Okay, now one by one this tab will be opened. I will explain it how this experiment is conducted. Now the objective, this is nothing but the aim, why we are conducting this virtual lab or why we are conducting this experiment. Now microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Okay, now what is our aim? To observe the phases present in the microstructure of stainless steel. Okay, we are going to observe the microstructure of stainless steel. And why we are going to observe this microstructure? To identify the phases present. Okay, to identify the phases present in that stainless steel. Now what are the apparatus required, or which apparatus we are going to use? That apparatus are highlighted here on this table. You can see here, this is your first apparatus, that is your metallurgical microscope. Already in our first practical session in part A, I have explained this in brief. Okay, means constructional details and working principle of this metallurgical microscope. I have already discussed in brief. You can go through that link also. Then this is the polishing machine. This second diagram is weight polishing machine. This machine is also available in our lab. Already I have shown that machine in previous practical also. Then this is the belt grinder. Okay, belt grinder is there. Then the abrasive papers or polishing papers are there that we are going to use. Then flat glass plate with wooden framework. Okay, flat glass plate with wooden framework is required. For what purpose it is required, this flat glass plate with wooden framework? To keep the polishing paper on it, to place the polishing paper on it, and it will provide you the even surface, so that polishing can be performed properly. Then electric hot air blower, then some cottons, then one etchant is required, and your specimen. Okay, so these are the apparatus or the required, or whichever equipments are there that we are going to use in this particular practical, that is microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Okay, whenever we are doing the microstructural analysis of any kind of material, these will be common equipments. Okay, all these equipments are common whenever you are doing the microstructural analysis. Suppose we are going to do the microstructural analysis of different types of steels, or different types of plain carbon steels, or different types of the cast irons, or different types of non-ferrous alloys. Okay, then these equipments will be same. Okay, metallurgical microscope, then polishing machine, belt grinder, abrasive papers of polishing papers, then flat glass plate with the wooden framework, then electric hot air blower, then cotton. Just each end will be different. Okay, this each end will get changed depending on the material which you are going to observe the microstructure, for which you are observing the microstructure. Depending on that, different etchants will be there. Depending on your material, this etchant and your sample specimen, that is nothing but your material, it will get changed. Remaining will be same. Remaining all equipments will be common whenever you are doing the microstructure analysis of any material. Okay, any metal, or it may be alloy. So now, as far as this microstructure of stainless steel is concerned, some description or theoretical part here they have highlighted. That is the austenitic. What is the meaning of austenitic stainless steel? Okay, what is the meaning of austenitic stainless steel, and what is the meaning of austenite? They have highlighted here. Now, already this part I have discussed in the iron-iron carbide equilibrium diagram. Austenite is nothing but, what is it? It is a interstitial solid solution of carbon with iron. Okay, carbon and iron's interstitial solid solution at higher temperature ranges with FCC crystal structure. Okay, this is it will exist above 727 degrees Celsius, and it is non-magnetic in nature. This part already I have explained. A high temperature phase of non-magnetic iron and carbon solid solution means interstitial solid solution of carbon with iron at higher temperature ranges, and it will present above 727 degrees Celsius only, and its crystal structure is FCC. Okay, this is the austenite. And what is the austenitic stainless steel? In short, I will explain it. This stainless steel in which from room temperature up to higher temperature ranges, or up to melting point, only one phase is there, and that is austenite. Okay, in stainless steel, if any common type of stainless steel is there, different phases may be there. But as far as austenitic stainless steel is concerned, from room temperature up to its melting point, only one phase or only one kind of structure will be observed, and that is austenite, and that stainless steel is termed as austenitic stainless steel. Now, in the same way, ferritic stainless steel is there. martensitic stainless steel is there. Okay, already I have explained what is the meaning of ferrite. Okay, in iron carbide equilibrium diagram, and that ferrite phase will be there. If only ferrite phase is there in that steel, then it will be termed as ferritic stainless steel. From room temperature up to higher temperature ranges or up to its melting point, only one phase, that is ferrite, is there, then it is termed as ferritic stainless steel. If austenite is present, then it's termed as austenitic stainless steel. And if martensite is present, only martensite phase is there, then it will be termed as martensitic stainless steel. Okay, these three are main types of the stainless steel: austenitic stainless steel, ferritic stainless steel, and martensitic stainless steel. Okay, what is the meaning of martensite? That part we will discuss in the our next session in the heat treatment chapter. And just now remember this: why this is austenitic stainless steel? Only austenite phase is there. Okay, only austenite phase is there. And if ferrite is there, ferritic stainless steel. If martensite is only there, then it is martensitic stainless steel. Now just here at the bottom right corner, one arrow will be there. Just click on it. It is the next page. It will go to the next page. Now in the next stage, they have mentioned here step 1. Okay, step 1 they have mentioned here. Step 1 in the microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Now you have to choose the sample here. Okay, simply two samples they have mentioned: austenitic stainless steel and martensitic. Suppose you want to observe the microstructure of this martensitic stainless steel, just you have to click here. Okay, here one round is there, just click on it, click inside it. Okay, whichever sample you want to select. Suppose I choose this austenitic stainless steel. You can choose anyone, or randomly first you can choose austenitic stainless steel, and after that we will go for next sample. Okay, austenitic stainless steel I will choose, and then click on the next. Now in the second stage, okay, whenever we are going to perform the microstructure analysis, in that first stage is the specimen preparation, and that specimen we have selected. In the second stage, with the help of a belt grinder, okay, belt grinder, and just you have to make sure that no sharp edges should be there on your specimen. Okay, this is your specimen. Sharp edges should not present here, and this surface should be flat. That's why we are going to perform one small grinding operation with the help of belt grinder. Okay, just click on this arrow. Okay, this is the simulation. Okay, you can click. After clicking on that arrow, that grinding will be done. And what is the purpose of performing this grinding? To obtain one flat surface and to eliminate the sharp edges present on that specimen prepared. Okay, so after obtaining the sharp edges, now we can move towards the next step. Now next step is polishing. Now this polishing is divided in two types, that is rough polishing and fine polishing. Now a rough polishing, what is the difference between rough polishing and fine polishing? A rough polishing will be done with the help of polishing papers. Okay, polishing papers or your abrasive papers we are going to use. And that abrasive papers, some abrasive particles of different sizes will be there, and we have to start with the rough papers first. Okay, initially we will go through the rough papers. We will start the polishing through with rough papers having a larger abrasive particle size, and we are going to, after that we are going to take the next abrasive paper of polishing paper having less abrasive particle size. Okay, means we are starting with the rough paper, and one by one stepwise we are moving towards the fine paper. Okay, in this way polishing will be done. Now one care you have to take here while doing the polishing operation, that polishing paper or abrasive paper must be kept on a flat glass plate so that a flat surface will be there. Okay, and polishing can be properly done and smooth, fine surface will be obtained. Now just click on this arrow. It will show you how this polishing is performed. Okay, in this way you have to do the polishing just in one direction. Don't move in forward and backward simultaneously. Just keep that specimen on the polishing paper and move it in the forward direction, then again lift it and again do the same step. Okay, now after doing the polishing with one paper, now move to the next finer paper. Okay, next finer paper you have to move, and while moving to the next finer papers, we have to take care that while changing one paper to the another, the specimen and your hands should be cleaned free from that abrasives of the previous paper. Okay, whichever while doing the polishing, suppose you are doing the polishing, and during this polishing, that some abrasive particles will get uh, attached to your hands. Okay, you have to eliminate that with the help of water. Just clean it, and then after change, while changing the paper, you have to change the direction of the specimen. Suppose you are using this direction. Okay, you have to do the polishing in this way. I will show you here. Suppose this is the polishing paper, and okay, this is a specimen. I have taken this specimen. Okay, suppose in this way you have to do the polishing in this way. Okay, go in forward direction, then lift it up, then again start from the initial stage. Okay, like this. Flat surface should be there. Okay, in this way you have to do the polishing. Okay, in this way. Okay, then after that, if suppose you have changed, I have taken next paper, then you have to change or you have to rotate your hand by 90°. Okay, you have to initially I am doing polishing in this direction. Now after changing the polishing paper, let's change the rotate your hand by 90°, so that what will happen, whichever scratches are there from previous papers, that will be at 90°. Okay, means in the initially vertical, in vertical direction scratches will be there. Okay, vertical direction scratches will be there. Then after rotating it by 90°, in the next side horizontal, in this direction you are going to do the polishing, means scratches will be in this direction. Okay, means whichever previous scratches are there, it will get eliminated. Okay, this care you have to take while changing paper every time. You have to rotate emery paper or your polishing paper every time. You have to rotate your hand or turn your hand through 90°, so that the scratches from the previous papers are at right angles to the scratches from the next paper. Okay, and why we are doing this, it will ensure the proper polishing and we will get the fine polished surface. Okay, just click on this OK and go to the next. Now this one by one we have come to the final abrasive paper. Okay, okay, this is the final abrasive paper. In this way, just in this way we have to do the polishing, and after completing this polishing, wash your hands and also wash that specimen with the water. Now one question they have asked here, what is the glass plate, why we are using the glass plate here? Okay, flat glass plate or flat table you can use. What is the purpose behind it? Four options are there. It is easier to apply the pressure to obtain a flat surface. Third option is to avoid uneven surface, and fourth option is both option 2 and 3. Please mention your answers in the chat box. Which is the correct option? Why we are using the flat glass plate? Easy to apply pressure, to obtain flat surface, or to avoid uneven surface, or both, to obtain flat surface and avoid uneven surface. What is the correct answer? Please mention it in the chat box. Fourth. Few more answers I am expecting. Okay, fourth is the correct answer, option 4. What is our aim? To obtain the flat surface and to avoid uneven surfaces also. Both 2 and 3 is the correct answer. Then after this, move towards the next tab. Okay, now the rough polishing part is completed. Now next step is to do the fine polishing, or this is also termed as wet polishing. This equipment or this machine is also available in our lab. I will show that in our lab practically in the next session, or tomorrow morning we are having practical session. At that time I will show this how it will work. Now initially, now this is the wet polishing machine. Now here your polishing paper will be already attached with the help of one disc. Okay, fine paper will be there, or polishing cloth will be there. Polishing cloth, it will be attached here. Now on that polishing cloth, alumina solution, okay, this is alumina solution or alumina powder, along with some amount of water, that you have to pour on this disc. Okay, on this disc already polishing cloth will be attached. Fine polishing cloth will be there. Fine polishing cloth will be there on this disc. Just you have to add this alumina solution, and after that you have to place this specimen on this disc and turn the this machine on. Now how it will work? This is the fine polishing or wet polishing on disc polishing unit. Okay, this is one disc will be there having polishing cloth, and on that cloth we are going to pour this alumina solution. Just click on this arrow. Okay, click on it arrow, it will just follow the steps, all procedure it will show. Okay, pouring of alumina solution, then place this specimen on that disc, hold it properly, and proper care should be taken here because you are holding it with your hand. Your nails should be properly maintained. Okay, just cut it, because if your nails are there, or you are wearing some things, some bracelets or some bangles may be there, you have to remove it because it will get caught in that equipment. Just remove it and properly hold it, and take or follow all the safety precautions while performing this operation. Now after placing it, hold it gently and press the on switch. Okay, press the on switch here, it will start rotating. Okay, okay, it has started rotating. You can see one arrow here rotating. Okay, alumina solution you have poured on it, and you have held that specimen, and you have started that polishing machine. Now disc is rotating, and against that rotating disc you are holding this specimen, and its polishing is done. This is the fine polishing. Okay, now you can turn it off after a few minutes or few seconds. After a few minutes or few seconds you can switch it off, and that specimen is removed after fine polishing. Okay, after this, clean off the polished surface of the specimen with water. You have to clean that specimen surface with the water, and dry that surface with the help of electric hot air blower. Okay, electric hot air blower, with the help of that, dry it. Wash it with the help of water and dry it. Okay, then click on this OK tab, then move towards the next step. Okay, now polishing is done. Rough polishing with the help of emery paper, polishing papers or abrasive papers is done. Then wet polishing is done with the help of wet polishing machine or disc polishing unit. And after that, if you directly take that component and try to observe the microstructure under the microscope, then it does not reveal anything, only white plain surface will be observed. Now, to get different phases revealed, etching should be done. What is this etching process? We are doing the controlled corrosion of that surface, controlled corrosion, so that with this controlled corrosion, whichever borders are there in that microstructure borders or different phases, it will get revealed. Okay, and this process is termed as etching process. And now for this particular stainless steel, we are going to etch this specimen with marbles reagent. Okay, marbles reagent, and this is nothing but one chemical mixture, and this is particularly used for stainless steel. For different materials, different etching agents will be used. Okay, this marbles reagent is a solution of hydrochloric acid and copper sulfate dissolved in water. A standard mixture contains 12 ml HCl, 4 grams CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, with 20 ml of water. Okay. Now it forms a green solution with pungent acidic odor, and its pH is below 1. This is little bit some chemistry part. Just try to remember this. This is one etchant that we are going to apply on that polished surface, so that we can able to see the microstructure under the microscope. Now how it is applied, just click on this OK button here. Now here marbles reagent is there. Just click on the arrow. Now click on this one, cotton is there. With the help of cotton, take this solution, then close that chemical. Now take this specimen, and here now while applying the etchant, different steps may be there. Now here and the steps which is shown in this simulation, this is swabbing method. Just we are taking that specimen, we are collecting the chemical or etchant with the help of one cotton, and we are going to just directly do the swabbing, just rubbing it. Okay, this is the swabbing. Different methods can be used. In some methods, you can directly dip your specimen in the solution, that is dipping method, or you can spray this chemical on this specimen directly. Spraying method may be there. Okay, so here swabbing method will be done. How this swabbing is done, just I will click here. Okay, this is the swabbing, applying the etchant, and it is done for few seconds to few minutes depending on the sample. Now here one question they are asking, what is poured on the disc polisher in the previous step? Four options are there. In wet polishing method, which solution we have poured? First option is alumina solution, second option is silica solution, third option is calcium carbonate solution, and fourth option is none of the above. Please provide your answers in the chat box. Please provide the answers. I'm expecting more answers. Only 1 or 2 students are answering. Which solution we have used in the disc polishing step or wet polishing stage? Alumina solution, silica solution, calcium carbonate solution, or none of the above? Which solutions we have used? Please provide. Your answers may be wrong, just at least give one try. Yes, alumina. Almost all students are taking alumina solution. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, this is correct answer. We have used alumina solution. Okay, it is correct answer. Alumina solution we have used. And after this swabbing or completing this etching, method, we'll go to our final stage. That is, we are going to examine the specimen under the microscope, and we are going to observe the structures here. Okay, now you can see here in this structural details, I have explained that we can go for different magnifications in that microscope by changing the objective lens. Okay, here 52 arrows are here. Okay, this microstructure will be observed at 50 times 50x, and just rotate it for 100x, it will get zoomed. Okay, it is some enlarged image we will get. Then we will move towards next magnification, 500x. Okay, just you have to click on the arrow only. Okay, for different magnifications, its structure will be revealed. Okay, for 50x, more compact structure we are able to see. Then more phases are revealing here at 100x. Then at 500x, this is enlarged image. Now the question they have asked here, what is the agent used for austenitic stainless steel? 4 options are there: Marbles reagent, 2% nitrile reagent, Carpenter's reagent, or none of the above. Okay, which reagent or agent we have used? You can give your answers in the chat box. Which agent we have used? Okay, please provide your answers in the chat box. More answers I am expecting. Options are Marbles reagent, 2% nitrile reagent, Carpenter reagent, and none of the above. Okay, yes. Please try, just try to recall it, whichever part I have taught till now. Answer will be there only. Please give the answers, try. At least you should try to give the answers. It may be wrong. Okay. Correct answer is Marbles reagent. That's correct answer. After this, we'll move toward the next stage, and this is the final stage. Okay, this is the final stage here. This is the final stage where we will get, or you will get here, the whichever microstructure you have observed under the microscope, that will be shown here for different with the help of this slider. Okay, you can change the magnification. Okay, for 50x means for lesser magnification, we are getting little bit complicated structure, or it is a little bit compact. Now at 100x, little bit zoomed image we will obtain. Then at 500x, just we are enlarging it or zooming it. Okay, 50x, 100x, and 500x. Then whatever description is there that you have to write means which phases you have observed. Means these terms you may not aware of it, but just you have to understand it, that at the end here with the help of slider you can change the magnification, and this is your observation, final observation, or this is your result. Okay, 2 phases we have observed here. 2 phases. One is austenite. Okay, this shape is there. Okay, dendritic shape, feather like shape. This dendritic shape is there. It is austenite. Okay, this feathery like structure. Okay, this feather like long structure you are able to see here, and that is nothing but your austenite. Okay, that is austenite, as it is a austenitic stainless steel. Large amount of this dendritic or feather like structure is there, and it is austenite, hence it is termed as austenitic stainless steel. And some small amount of carbide, some dark particles are here. Okay, some dark particles, dark black spots are there somewhere. You can see in some region dark spots are there, and it is nothing but carbide phase. Okay, due to presence of, or due to chromium and carbon reaction, carbides are formed, and that will be observed. Two-phase structure, one will be austenite, and the remaining or small amount of some carbides formed due to the reaction of chromium and carbon. You can observe it. Okay, this is for austenitic stainless steel. In this way, this first experiment is completed. Now you can go again in the simulation tab. Okay, just equipments are there. Here you can change the specimen. They have given you two specimen. Now initially I have taken this specimen, austenitic stainless steel. Now I will take the martensitic stainless steel. Then initially flat surface will be obtained with the help of belt grinder. Okay, just I am revising this method, and after this obtaining the flat surface with the help of belt grinder, then the rough polishing with the help of polishing paper. With it is done by taking rough papers, initially rough paper, and rough paper will be marked by one, and one by one we are changing its, or taking the next papers which are having finer sizes up to 1 to 4. Okay, and in this way polishing is done by keeping it on flat glass plate. Okay, one by one we are going to change it, and while changing the abrasive paper you have to turn your hand to 90 degrees Celsius. Okay, okay, 90 degrees. Okay, sorry, uh, just to turn your hand through 90-degree angle. Then one by one you have to change the polishing paper or your abrasive paper. Okay, polishing should be done in this way. Raise your hand here. Then why we are using the flat glass plate? To obtain flat surface and avoid uneven surfaces. Then this is a rough polishing. Then fine polishing is done with the help of disc polishing unit or weight polishing unit, and that alumina powder is initially poured. Then that sample is placed, and you have to on that machine. Then this the rotation of disc will start, and fine polishing will be done, and you have to stop it after a few minutes. Okay, and after fine polishing, wash that specimen and dry it with the help of electric hot air blower, and then move towards the next step, that is the etching. Etchant is applied. Here marbles etchant is used, and we are applying with by using the method. Okay, swabbing method we are using here. Close that bottle, then take the specimen and do the swabbing. Okay, in this way specimen is prepared. Alumina solution we have used in the previous step, that is weight polishing. Then observe the microstructure with the help of microscope at different magnification, 500x, 100x, and 500x. Okay, now in the next step, which agent we have used here, marbles agent we have used. Then in the last stage we will get the, with the help of this slider we can change this magnification, and this kind of structure will be obtained. For martensitic stainless steel, 3 phases will be there. Martensite, this needle like structure. Okay, this needle like structure you are seeing here, it is nothing but martensite. Then retained austenite and some carbide phases. three phases will be observed. In this way, you can do the microstructural analysis for different particles. Here we have observed it for microstructural analysis of stainless steel. Okay, now I have completed this virtual lab for microstructural analysis of stainless steel. This same procedure will get repeated for your experiment number 3, 4, and 5, where we are going to observe the microstructure of plain carbon steels, the microstructure of different types of cast irons, and microstructure of different types of non-ferrous alloys. The procedure will be same, whichever that using the belt grinder, then rough polishing, fine polishing, application of the etchant, that is etching method, and observing the microstructure. These methods or procedure will be common in all microstructural analysis for all materials, almost all materials. Just what will get changed, our sample specimen and the etching agent or reagent which we are using, it will get changed. Remaining method will be same. Okay, so this is the virtual lab we have taken today. If you are having any query, please put that in the chat box. And if you have understood everything, please mention that all points are clear in the chat box so that I can stop this session. And at the end, I will take the attendance. Please let me, please first clarify that all points are clear or not. Okay, if all points are clear, then you can put your attendance now. Okay, please put your attendance. I will collect it from the recording. Just put your roll number only once. Don't repeat it again and again. Just only once along with your division. Put your roll number. I will collect your attendance. And I will wait for a few minutes here for collecting your attendance. And after that, you can leave. After putting your attendance, you can leave this session. Okay, if all points are clear, you can leave this session. If any query is there, you can ask me. Okay, and one more point here, post test. Okay, one post test is there. After obtaining, completing this practical, one post test is there that you can attend. Austenity, stainless steel, ferritic steel, cubic. Decomposition, chromium, nickel, lymph 4, not 11. Just answer this post test and submit it, and you will get the answer. I got here all correct answers. If any wrong answer is there, you can try it again also. Okay, just put your roll numbers in the chat box, and after that you can leave. Okay, make it quick. Quickly put your attendance. Now I'm going to stop the session, stop the recording. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for attending this session. Okay, put your attendance. Check. Okay, if all students have submitted their attendance, now I will stop this session here only. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.